If you also drive a boring or old daily, you know how the cost savings can feel like this, while sometimes the car itself makes you feel like this.
My time has come. Noodles.
While adding mods and features to your rolling disappointment doesn't need to cost thousands of dollars, there are awesome $100 mods you can do inside and out, and here are 7 of the best. Let's get into it. Let me know what mods I missed here. I'm sure there are a couple. Here's a disclaimer for anyone who's gonna say, you're a racer. I'll also have top Amazon links to almost all of these in the description so you can avoid crappy knockoffs, and leaving a big ol' one of these if you enjoy really means a lot. Getting right into number 1, we've got scar decals on every light. No, not actually, but the real first one is a backup camera. This one's not overly exciting when you're driving on the highway or around turns or anything, but it can be really helpful every time you have to back up, especially if you're in a low car or don't have great rear visibility. It's also great for whenever you're stuck with one of those annoying families behind you who takes 10 minutes to walk past your car when you're clearly waiting to back out of a parking spot. Some of these are sold with standalone screens, which is a great option if you don't already have an aftermarket touchscreen and want a quick setup. I don't think you could get both a camera and aftermarket touchscreen radio for under $100, but I could maybe be wrong about that. I don't think so though. If you do already have a screen in your car that you could hook one of these bad Larrys up to, then I can't see how it wouldn't be worth it to just set one up. The small camera only ones that you can just drill into the back of your car seem great, but you can even avoid drilling any new holes into your car by getting license plate cameras. I wanted to add in a more fun one next, but it's only for the lads or ladies, I know you're out there, who walk up to their group of peasant auto driver friends and can't help but say,
"You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature."
It's a short throw shifter and or weighted shift knob. Depending on what you drive, a short throw might be hard to find, especially under $100, but a compatible weighted shift knob should be really easy for pretty much anyone to find. Short throw shifters are pretty self-explanatory, and if you don't know what a weighted knob does, it reduces the vibration and clickiness you feel when shifting and makes the shifter feel a lot easier to put into gear. It's definitely worth checking out if short throws are available for your car under $100 if you're interested, or maybe even on Marketplace or even eBay if you're comfortable with that and like to live life on the edge. But a weighted shift knob would be pretty easy to get from anywhere, and if you don't like it, just return it and then you know you don't like it. Now back to something anyone can do, which is especially great if your car is older than like a 2018, it's adding extra sound deadening. Everybody talks about having loud exhausts and loud sound systems, but nobody talks about how nice it would be to just have pure silence while you're driving. No road noise or anything.
Dearly beloved.
Alright, well if you're shy about your cheeky chimes, then that might not sound great. And we all know how annoying electric car people can be about how quiet their cars are. But really, when you think about not having to constantly listen to wind or tire noise, that just sounds like heaven. And even if you want a loud screaming exhaust, I still don't see how sound deadening can hurt, because if you want to hear the exhaust better, you can just open or even crack the windows. This is more of a DIY project, but still definitely not difficult, and you can go as far as you want. You could get only in the door panels, just make sure the window still moves how it needs to after, or you could go through the whole car for the full effect. I've been too lazy to do this myself, even though my daily could really use it, but any car, especially older ones, will feel way more refined and comfortable, and you'd be able to hear talking or music that much better. Okay, now to kick off more of the fun mods here, next up is a muffler delete or modification. Will you be able to find a titanium electric active exhaust for under $100?
No.
Will you be able to find a regular active exhaust for under $100?
No.
Stupid. But new mid-mufflers, muffler delete kits, or any pre-owned exhaust components could all very easily be on the table. Years ago with one of my sporty cars, my friend and I even went to a junkyard and took a throttle body off a PT Cruiser for $25. Then I got some exhaust JB Weld, which didn't work great, but it was extra cost, a short piece of pipe, and a throttle cable off Amazon that I think was supposed to be for a boat, all for a total of less than like $50, and we pieced together a hand-activated exhaust cutout that actually worked perfectly. I'll admit, I fully expected plenty of sound leaks, but there was nothing, and it opened perfectly every time. I also know not everybody has a friend with a welder, even though it was only like 9 inches of weld, but the idea is still there, and things like that can turn out to be the best mods. The last thing I'll toss out there about this is Home Depot would accept Sawzall returns after a weekend, and blades are only like $5. I'll leave that right there. Now is one that can get very controversial, it's lighting effects. This could be a lot of different things really. For inside, you could get footwell LEDs that can follow music, swap yellow dome lighting out for white LEDs, add eel wire, or small other accents. For the outside, you could get wheel well lights. I used to think rotor lights were pretty cool, but now I can't fully decide how I feel about it. Any patterned brake lights or blinker lights, or potentially the best one, which is just brighter headlights so you can see better. Or screw it, as long as it's legal, wink smile, get some extra exterior LEDs for your light arsenal so next time someone decides to leave their high beams on driving towards you, you can unleash the power of an Irish guy taking his shirt off at the beach for the first time after a long winter. If your car's older, you might also be surprised what a nice refinish can do to your headlights, but that's not really a mod. Next up is another performance-focused one, more or less, and it's an aftermarket intake. In some cases, you could get a more cold air intake setup. It'll definitely be on the cheaper quality side if it costs less than a Benji Franks, though. If you can't find anything promising that's already put together, you could also look into a standalone cone setup to toss onto your existing intake. I have to say, do any of this at your own risk, though. Research how a new intake went for other people with your specific car and know that there's a chance a higher flow intake could cause a check engine light or your engine to run a little lean without a tune. If that doesn't seem like a problem for your car, or you don't care because you want your car to have a Warriors ending, this can be very realistic for under $100. Changes for any car for doing this are all up to the specific new filter and car combo, but I've heard of swapping in a new filter doing everything from making an exhaust note slightly louder, increasing MPG by the smallest bit, or very slightly increasing responsiveness and definitely increasing spoolie sounds for turboed cars. Another way you can get a similar effect is you can buy an OEM-shaped high-flow filter and keep the top off your intake box. If it's been years since you've opened your intake box, you might just want to be careful when you first open it in case there's any mouse nests in there, especially if you've got that one weird friend nearby who gets a little unpredictable. And as a mod that's great to have for functionality and for looks, it's ceramic window tint. Contrary to what some people think, tint doesn't magically keep your car cool like an AC would, but it can do a lot to keep extra heat out from the sun while you're driving. Any tint can also help reduce glare and improve privacy whenever you need it. You sly, dirty dog, you know what I'm talking about. Sneaking an extra cheat meal, of course. Keep in mind with this too, though, higher visibility ceramic tints can still help a lot, but if you want to go for darker tints, your car could become a cop magnet because of the tint. I always have to point out tint laws are different in every state because I don't want to get a call in 2 weeks about someone getting pulled over for tint that I suggested. Then I have to sit there acting like I don't see the call from them, like... Honorable mentions that are awesome for any broke car fella but aren't really mods are an FM transmitter, phone holder, small toolkit, charging hub to add ports, and white tire lettering. Please let me know what good mods I missed and what videos you want to see. As always, I genuinely appreciate you watching. It really means a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.